In this session, we are going to configure Data Lakehouse in order to replicate data from Bill, or formerly known as Bill.com, into Snowflake. As a reminder, Bill is the ability to easily electronically pay bills and to send invoices with your customers and your vendors and your partners. So the first thing that we need to do within Data Lakehouse is to set up a source connection to Bill. So we're in the sources. We're going to go and find a Bill source. And here we're going to enter in information. The alias, this is something that can be changed at any time and is only visible within Data Lakehouse. And now we have a target schema. This is, think of in Snowflake, the prefix to the schema that you'll be seeing. So pick a name to help with organization and understanding. We're going to select a particular environment, which is going to be production. And here you're going to enter in your org ID, your user, and password. So this particular user should have admin access to Bill. Next, we will authorize our account in order to establish that connection. So now that we have a source connection, we need to define our target connection to Snowflake. So under targets, we have pre-configured this particular target. So here you enter in information that's going to be common to what you see within Data Lakehouse for other users. We are going to dedicate a database to land our raw replicated data, and of course assign a warehouse and a role to our user. So once you have your source and target set up, you need to then configure a sync bridge. And the sync bridge is the mechanism that allows you to schedule the time and the frequency as to how often you will be replicating data to Snowflake. So we'll select the connector, source connector we created earlier, and then our target connector as well. We're going to set our time zone, Central Time for this example. Then we're going to say we want to replicate data every hour. Naturally, the data that gets replicated are changes to the data. And so depending upon the number of changes that you have, that you are inserting records into Bill.com, or you're editing records, those net changes are the only thing that will get continually replicated over. Naturally, this first sync, since there's nothing there, all data will get replicated into Snowflake. So now that we have our sync bridge created, we'll save our bridge. And so now, this bridge will run every hour. If you'd like to go ahead and run the bridge right now, actually click Actions and select Run Sync Bridge right now. So we can see this bridge is running. We can go look at the logs and monitoring. We can see the different logs that are within our logging section for this particular sync bridge. We can see there's a lot of activities, a lot of entities that are being retrieved. We see in the log this green flag that says Done End. That's one way to tell that the sync bridge is done running. A second way is to go look at the sync bridge itself to be able to see the last completed time. And then finally, another way is to go and look at the data within Snowflake. Here we will check the database that we referenced earlier in our target connection. And then within the source connection, we had indicated the schema prefix. And now that we have Bill prod was our schema prefix, we can find that we have data within bill, bill pay, etc., where we can start building our dimensional model In that dimensional model, you may integrate other sources of data with bill data. And another way to determine is we look at the information schema. We can go ahead and run this query and be able to see a number of our tables have data in them. And now, since we configured that sync bridge to run every hour these tables will automatically get updated with the new records that were created in bill and any changes within bill. So in summary, we leverage Data Lakehouse in order to replicate the data from bill into Snowflake. And we set up a sync bridge in order to facilitate the connection to bill and the connection to the target of Snowflake. And also that sync bridge, remember, allows us to set the frequency of that data being updated. We thank you for joining this session. Please check out our other sessions for more helpful information about Data Lakehouse.